Hey Dragon Ball Joey, it's Halusa the Tuffle here, and I am joined today with three very special musicians, guys that I've been working with throughout a year and a half, I think now actually. One very special musician I spoke to just under 2 years ago, a guy that I met with that also does reviews on his channel as well as music, and another chap that I just met recently in the past, say, 6 months, who does, I think he does animation on his channel, but also does music as well. I'd like to introduce Margin Blue, Aurak, and Retro Ranter. Okay, guys, you want to say hi or anything like that?
Hello, people.
Margin Blue?
Margin Blue, do you want to add something?
I think he may have lost his voice.
Hi, guys.
There we go.
Perfect.
And I think Retro Ranter's sorting out his mic at the moment, so we'll get to him in a second. Right, so let's just start this off. So basically, I've brought these guys onto my channel because I want to talk to them about music. I want to talk to them because all their musical styles are very similar to my own, which is very similar to the Faulkner production style that that we're all trying to aspire to get closer to, I suppose, and create our own unique versions of that. So I've brought them together today because I want to talk to each and individual one of them, as well as a whole, their ideas, their thoughts, their inspirations behind how they create the music, what they think of when they're making the music, how they structure their themes based on, say, scenes, or whether it be just like, they get the idea of how that scene's supposed to be described by music, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's just get the ball rolling. So let's see. Let's start by talking about our inspirations from where we began. So we all started off watching Dragon Ball Z, back in the day and all that. We listened to the original Faulkner Productions theme tunes and soundtracks from there. But where for example, let's start with Margin Blue because it's on the top of my list. Where do you get your ideas from when you create your themes, and who inspires you, do you think, the most?
If you really want to know, that's you.
No, that's very kind of you. Very kind of you indeed. And obviously that stems back to the Faulkner Productions musical scores, I suppose, but do you ever take any inspiration for things like the Japanese score, like Kikuchi and Sumitomo, or anything like that when you're creating your tunes? Especially when you do like some of your orchestral stuff, because I know sometimes you mix your electronic stuff with your orchestral stuff as well.
Well, I don't think much. If I record or recreating the super sound, I just recreating it, but I never really made that for a costume theme for Super like that, like the style or something like that. No, I just when I create the tracks or recreating, I usually pick your style or the Faulkner style, and so at the beginning of my channel I tried a little to make it like the Super style or like the DBZ Japanese style.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then I saw I'm not so good at it. Then I just stayed at Faulkner and you.
I think you don't give yourself enough credit there. I think you're a lot more talented and a lot more creative than you actually think yourself. Because I've listened to a lot of your stuff before, and okay, some of it's very sort of reminiscent of the Faulkner production style, but I do hear sometimes a little bit of Sumitomo in there as well, which is it's a good flavour to add to it with a mixture of the electronic and orchestral stuff. How about yourself, Aurak? How do you think about things? What particular style do you think that you sort of base your music on? Because yours is it's very different to Margin Blues, but it has a very it has the same flavor in the same way as well, like all of us actually.
Well, yeah, that's a difficult question because when I started my channel, I mostly did music based on the Faulkner Productions soundtrack, Enigma TNG, you, and yeah, these sort of guys. And yeah, my approach to the whole music stuff was when I began this Dragon channel was I wanted to recreate this sort of atmosphere that Faulkner and all of you great guys have. But my approach to this sort of electronic, let's say, music is much more simpler, in my opinion, because I don't really use too many synths or you know, too many mind-bending panning or something like that. I mostly use like stuff. I want to create like memorable melodies, and well, I don't know if I accomplish it, but I try to. And well, I think in the future I evolved a bit the style and tried to emulate the Sumitomo soundtrack too. And I think it goes relatively well. I mean, my favorite personally is the Ultra Instinct Pata theme that I had made, because I think it's, well, first of all, it's really Sumitomo inspired and you can totally hear it. And I believe it's one of the most coherent and most organized themes I've done on my channel. And I'm really proud of it. But yeah, in regards to my style, let's say, I don't have any really particular style. I just try to, you know, combine sort of stuff like maybe the Sumitomo, maybe the Faulkner, maybe the Kinkutsu, but I haven't really done that yet. And I try to mix my own style into it, you know, that's all.
Of course, yeah, no, absolutely, no, I totally agree with you with your Ultra Instinct thing that you did there as well. That one stood out the most to me, I think, out of all the pieces of work that you've done. And by the way, all your pieces of work are absolute masterpieces. Same as you, Margin Blue. I mean, everything you've done so far has just been like, you know, I've seen you progress from your first theme tune that you did, especially when you did your final Flash theme as well. That was something epic. I mean, with the in time with the actual scene itself was so good. Yeah. That's something that I've always wanted to try and do myself, but never actually had the time to accomplish it. And I think, you know, kudos definitely to you two for the works that you've done thus far. And yeah, I mean, you definitely do have your own individual unique sounds and things like that, which has made you stand out a lot more. Okay, so I think Retro Ranter is still sorting out his mic. Are you with us actually at the moment, Retro?
Retro?
I think he might.
I think he's still setting up.
I think he's still setting up. Okay, so I'll come back to Retro with that question as well. Give him the privilege there. And of course, you know, you guys, you met up. How did you guys all meet up together, actually? Because, I mean, like, I met each one of you through YouTube and Twitter, and obviously I've worked with each of... Well, I haven't worked with Retro Ranter yet, and I haven't really worked with Orak, although I did that tune. The theme tune, the Saiyan and the Tuffle.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
So we've done kind of a tune together, but not really. But, I mean, we've all met through, like, Twitter and YouTube and all that. But how did you guys meet each other? How did all you sort of come about and start working together? Because you've all started working together quite a lot recently, I've noticed on YouTube.
Well,
should I start or?
Well, whoever wants to get in there first.
Okay, I start then. Yeah. Just I said, I just found you, Halusu, and then that music was pretty awesome, really awesome. Then I tried to make that too, and I just got FL then, and trying to create tunes. Then I asked you about that all stuff, how you make your music, that we meet each other then.
Yeah.
And sometimes Aura comments on my video too. Then I check it also out his channel too. Then we just spoke to each other more and more. Then we did go to Discord, and yeah. As we can see our changelog chat, we had,
absolutely.
pretty much there. And just like Retro Ranter, I met him in your live stream, and he met me too then there. And since then we speak a lot on Twitter there. And like we already had 2 collaborations, then yeah.
Yeah. Anything to add, Aurak?
Well, yes. I began listening to the Dragon Ball music, let's say, YouTube world, back when I believe Super was on its resurrection of F arc, I think, and I had started really listening to the Enigma music, Saiyan Enigma for anyone not knowing him for some reason, and I thought it was like really badass. I had heard of the Faulkner Productions soundtrack before, but you know, when I saw the original Dragon Ball Z, I was seeing the Greek dub, and the Greek dub was using the Kinkuchi music.
Actually. In the Greek dub, by the way, just to cut in there, did they use the Faulkner Productions soundtrack, or did they use the Sumitomo Kikuchi?
Well, they used the Kinkuchi soundtrack, and yeah, it really became more memorable to me in that way. And the Faulkner Production soundtrack became something like listening to a different approach from an ethereal place. I don't know how to call it.
Right, yeah, no, absolutely, definitely. Because I mean, I've only
anyway,
ever heard the American dub, obviously, so I mean, I've obviously heard the Japanese dub as well, but I started on the English dub and then went to the Japanese dub afterwards.
Yeah, each and every one of us has, you know, his own way of seeing Dragon Ball. I mean, some people have their own dubbed versions of Dragon Ball Z in their country, so it's
yeah. Well, there's about
and I think
there's about 4 or 5 different English dubs. I mean, wherever you do, you want to steer it clear from. I think it's called the Zoom or Boom or Bang or something like. Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah, I have heard of that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I started also with the Japanese soundtrack because I watched the German in my childhood there, and yeah, we only had that Japanese soundtrack then. And then I just went to YouTube and I just saw them that the character have actually own themes there, and then as famous as they are, the whole SSJ Vegeta theme, Gohan's Angers, and something like that. That got me too, and it sounds amazing. Then I tried to recreating that then.
Absolutely, that's cool. We had Retro Rand for a second. He's just popped off. Is he popping back in? Can we get him back in here? So I think he managed to get his mic sorted out. I'm not sure.
Who knows?
Okay.
Only he knows.
If you guys could get him back in, that'd be awesome. I've got some questions to ask him, obviously in regards to the same questions we've already spoken of. But we'll move on to keep things in flow. Right, so let's see.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I mean, I personally love the original soundtrack. I mean, the Japanese soundtrack. It's one of my most favorites. I grew up with the Faulkner Production soundtrack, which is obviously where my style comes from, where I've tried to blend the two together. But with all that said, for each of you, which this is a kind of complicated, complicated question, but which of you do you feel was probably the more impactful musical soundtrack or musical score? The Japanese or the that influenced you with your musical productions that you do? I know you said that a lot of your styles are on Faulkner and all that, but because you blend the Japanese soundtracks into your styles as well, so which ones you find had more impact in comparison to scenes as well? Let's say I'll ask Aurak for that one. I'll ask Margin after.
Well, in my opinion, I might be a little biased because of nostalgia and stuff, but I think the Kinkuchi soundtrack can be a little more heartfelting because, well, maybe it's the orchestral feel, maybe it's the vintage sound of it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I think that the use of orchestral instruments and way simplistic type of composition, and what I mean by this is that I have noticed that Kinkuchi uses, like Sumitomo, you know, trumpet sections and violin sections in key moments, and that's what makes the whole scene a bit more epic. And you know, having an extremely basic bass line, like, you know, just a bass guitar doing a loop or something like that,
Yeah.
just it gets you in the atmosphere, you know. And I don't mean like that the Faulkner Productions isn't, you know, feeling inducing or something
Of
like
course,
that.
yeah.
But you know, it's like maybe it's the synths, maybe I don't know. But
I know what you mean. I mean, it's a bit like when you watch a movie and you know, like Hans Zimmer's on the job sort of thing. There's a lot of orchestral stuff going on, but then there's a lot of like synthetic stuff that happens afterwards. But like his movies, like you have something like Inception, where a lot of it was like orchestral stuff, but it got you in the moment. And then you've got other movies like Minority Report, where it's a bit more synthetic, and that, you know, you can get with the feel of what's going on because of it being futuristic and cyberpunk. Like the music that flows with it just has that right feeling and right sort of emotion to go with the scene.
Well, yeah, I mean, you mentioned Hans Zimmer, and when it comes to Hans Zimmer, because many have criticized him of way too simplistic compositions and stuff like that. And I don't necessarily agree. I mean, it's his style, and I liked for example, I really liked the Interstellar soundtrack, which is a really big mix of synthetic instruments and, you know, church organs and all those sort of instruments that are not really used in the current music industry. And having simplistic compositions isn't a bad thing. Just that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what are your thoughts on that, Margin Blue? What do you reckon? How do you feel about that?
Actually, the same as Aurak. I don't have to add something there.
Why not? Why not? Okay, so on personal levels, okay. So when you create music now, like, you know, the stuff that you're creating in, say, time with see, I do a lot of stuff which is like all theory stuff at the moment, because obviously Super's finished now. I'm not making any more, you know, spoiler music or music based on scenes that are going to happen in Dragon Ball Super, or episodes that have passed, and or even like moments or attacks or anything like that. When you make music now, the ideas in your head for stuff that you're just coming up with, what sort of music do you listen to in your personal time that also give you the inspiration? Like, for example, I listen to a lot of like Korn, I like some trance music, and I like Ferry Corsten and things like that. But I also like Enya and some things from the 80s as well. So, and that also sort of, and David Bowie, you know, it gives me sort of like ideas to make other things. I'll hear something that was like on the radio that's like from retro years, and I think, oh, that's a really good rhythm. I like that. I really like the idea, the melody that goes with it. I reckon I could turn that into a Dragon Ball sounding track. What about yourselves? How do you think similar, or do you just have different ideas completely?
Actually, also similar, but I mostly like Sane Enigma or you, or but also is there like Michael Jackson. If you can hear it in my tracks there.
Yes, I remember you made I think you made a Michael Jackson remake, didn't you? A while ago it was, actually, but yeah, I do remember that. And it had that Dragon Ball's sort of Dragon Ball Z-esque feel to it as well, which I also quite enjoyed.
Yeah, this was a recreation of the Who Is It track. I like, yeah, I love it, and it's my personal it's like when I like something, I try to recreating that or something that if you can telling there.
Absolutely, and I understand exactly what you're saying there. I mean, it's like you must have seen a few times before me doing a
Yeah.
couple of like, you know, remakes, remixes, or recreations of like popular tunes that aren't Dragon Ball but done them in a kind of Dragon Ball way. I mean, even say an Enigma or Enigma TNG. I did a couple of, you know, versions of his songs as well because I'm a big fan of his, and I'm just interested in the sounds and everything that, you know, that he was able to convey, and the chords, the notes, everything, the whole feel of the track, and just tried to recreate it in my own way. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts, Aurak? How do you, I mean, like, you know, are you in the same par? Do you take inspiration from things from years ago, or do you just go forward and you think, okay, this is what's happening now, this is the thing that I like, I'm gonna be something similar or something better?
Well, it is difficult to answer this because I don't know whether I have inspirations from the music I hear in my daily basis, because I listen to many genres of many, you know, different decades.
Of course, yeah.
I could listen like to.
But that's exactly the same as me. I mean, like, you know, a lot of the music that I'd listen to would be from all different genres, all different, you know, walks of life, and all different years as well. And all those things like built up inside me has come out as the style that I have become, if you like, and the style that I try and. But there's always like room for improvement and always room for more. Different sounds and different ideas and things like that. So, you know, with all that in mind, when you're making new tunes, do you think, you know, in the same respect?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with that, and I guess I agree with developing, you know, your music horizons, let's say, with you know, whatever new music like wave comes forward. I mean, we could not understand something that is popular nowadays, but in a few years it could make sense to our music brain, quote unquote.
Absolutely.
So I think it's nice to have an open horizon, you know.
Most definitely, most definitely. I think it's best to keep like your thoughts open to even like things like, I mean, a couple of years ago I wasn't accepted of dubstep. I was like, oh no, that's just a load of noise with a load of like rap beats, and then, you know, as the years progressed and it grew on me a little bit, I was like, actually I could turn that into something half decent, and created a few tracks with a kind of dubstep beat that I thought were passable, and I was like, actually I actually don't mind that style now, because now I've had time to sort of listen to it and understand it and break it out. I heard a retro ranter.
Oh, do we have a retro ranter?
I heard him.
Do we
I
have
didn't
him?
know where to jump in. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
My
Let me just
Hey there, bro.
completely.
I think I got your volume up.
Hello.
There we go.
Hello.
Hey, there we go. We got retro ranter, people.
We got him. Yeah.
Round of applause.
I haven't got an applause button, I'm afraid. I didn't have the sound effect ready. If I had my mixer up, I could have like someone going, oh yeah, but I'm afraid that's for next time.
But we need an all right too. All right.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
SSJ free.
A little bit late.
Oh no, that's all right. It's all right.
difficulties.
That's okay.
It's all right. It happens.
There's never too late. There's always just on time. Retro ranter is that fashionable person that turns up fashionably late at the halfway through at the end of the party, and he's like, "That's fine. The after party's coming. I'll be there."
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Well, if I can go back to the beginning, I'll ask you the questions I asked Margin Blue and Aurak, and see if I can get your response from this. So, right. Let's see where I am. Let's just get myself back into structure
I
again.
just heard everything.
No worries. Okay, so let's see. Where was I? Okay, so basically, the general gist of the first question I asked was your inspiration behind your music that you make. Because I think you do animation as well. I think, don't you?
Drawings. I wish I could animate, but yeah, a few drawings.
Yeah, the art is the, you know, that's very impressive as well. I mean, I watched your 9,000 subscriber video for me, which, by the way, I was very honoured by, and it was great. The art was awesome. I was watching intently from beginning to end, like from pen to paper and pencil and everything, and it was very, very intriguing. But yeah, basically with the music side of things, when it comes to Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and even maybe Dragon Ball GT. I know that's the bane of most people's fandom, but we'll include it anyway. But when you come up with your theme tunes and stuff, because all our theme tunes are very unique in their own way, but have a very similar sort of style that's reminiscent of Dragon Ball. Where do you get your inspirations from? Is it, I mean, like, you know, Dragon Ball Z, the English dub, Faulkner Productions, or Kikuchi, or Sumitomo, things like that? What were your ideas?
Funimation. Instantly, that was cause I kind of enjoyed the Rock the Dragon soundtrack. Like, I know it wasn't exactly music; it was just like noise. But then, once it kicked into the Funimation stuff, I was like, wow, what is this? It just captured me. Even as a kid, I was like, this is amazing. A lot of people say the music doesn't fit, but I think most of the tracks fit in pretty well. And just in hearing that, it's just inspired me. I've always wanted to. Every track that I heard in the series, I was basically like, I wish I could make that. And then you came along and passed me an RNS, and now I can make those tracks.
Oh yeah, well, absolutely, you know. This is it, you know. I've been doing music for, well, since I was 18. Well, yeah, properly I've been doing music since I was 18 years old. I mean, I'm 38 this year, so that's a good couple of years. Nobody took note of my age there, thank God. But, sorry. But, I mean, I've been making music for a long period of time. And when I started out, I've always been a massive fan of the music in Dragon Ball Z. My first experience with the soundtrack from Dragon Ball Z was the Funimation Faulkner Productions score with Mike Smith, Julius the Bosch, and obviously, you know, Scott Morgan, the legend that he is. And so when I was making my music, I was basing it on that. It was only after, when Dragon Ball Super began, that I got to know a little bit more about the Kikuchi stuff. I tried to mix some of that in and try and do a bit of a kind of a hybrid blend between the two. And, you know, I think it came out okay, but I mean, in all our respects, we all do kind of the similar kind of thing. So, I mean, do you think you might take a bit of inspiration from the Japanese soundtrack as well now?
Yeah, after hearing Super's music, definitely, man. Although I did have some MP3s back in the day of the old City soundtrack, but I think just to try and mix in definitely what you were just talking about on the fandom dubstep, or what it was before it's crazy robot music that people associated with that. But I always enjoyed video game music. So I tried to get that vibe to it, but try and keep it as Faulknerized as I can.
Yeah, I think the video game way of going is definitely the way forward. I mean, I get people constantly saying, "Oh, this sounds like Metroid Prime 2," and I'm like, I've never even played that game, but I'm glad it's got that sort of, that video game sound, because when I was a kid, when I was in school, I wanted to be a video games designer or a video games music designer, so that kind of works for me. Excuse me.
Had that Mega Drive where you could plug your headphones in.
Oh, I love the Mega Drive.
Every game had a sound select. Oh, I missed that.
I was a Mega Drive boy. Yeah. I was never a Nintendo. I respected the Nintendo, but I was always Mega Drive.
Yeah, that's probably why I really like bass quite a lot. Yuzo Koshiro, that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
That's really what got me into music as a whole.
Okay, so the second question, I think the second question I asked was pretty much, you guys, you know, you've been working together, you've been making music together, but I mean, we're all from different different places in the world, sort of thing. So I mean, how did you guys come about and get together and start, you know, exchanging ideas and collaborating together, and how did that all come about? How did you all meet, and how did you know that, like, you know, your music styles would blend together so well?
Yeah, well, that was you. It was one of your live streams, and I just got to talking with Margin Blue. And then I jumped onto one of his live streams, and I was like, wow, yours sounds like Halusa music. I want to make stuff like that. And then we got to talking, and he's like, do you want to collab? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to collab. And I thought it was just a joke and whatnot. And then I joined Twitter, where I basically got in touch with everybody. And then he's like, yeah, let's actually collab. And it happened, and it's just been growing since there. I think because we all sound like you, it's kind of why our sounds blend, to be fair.
Well, no, I'm completely honoured by all of the comments. That's that's very nice and very, overwhelming in some ways. But I deal. I can't remember. Oh, the last question I asked, so that we can catch up with everyone where we are, is in your own personal life, like the music styles that you listen to outside of what we're doing. Because I mean, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my music. I pretty much just listen to my own stuff, and that's not me being vain. I'm always listening to my own stuff to find faults. So I've become sort of a little bit obsessed with listening to my own stuff, as well as like things on the radio and things like that, so I can find like where the faults are. But I get inspiration from all over the place. I mean, like David Bowie, Depeche Mode, anything electronic, as well as like orchestral stuff like Enya and things like that, and some rock stuff like Korn and Disturbed and all that kind of stuff. So it all kind of rolls into my own style, if you like. But how do you, what do you think in that respect? Do you think that your own style sort of displays the music that you listen to in your personal life as well?
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you there. Basically, like mostly electronic and instrumental music. Don't get me wrong, I love the vocals and tracks and whatnot, but it's always soundtracks, things like that from John Carpenter, like I said, and Major music, some opera, stuff like that. I'm kind of big barrel of music that I like, and I just try to meld it all together and hopefully try and get my own sound from that, if you know.
Of course.
But I will literally listen to near enough everything.
Fair dues. Okay, so going back to, say, the present, because we've been talking a lot about Dragon Ball Z and, obviously its influences on us. How about, and I know that Super now goes into the past, although it's the most present that we've got at the moment, because we've got that movie coming up as well, with the new Saiyan and all that. But, with all that in tide, with the music, well, with the possibility of the show coming back as well, like maybe sometime next year, more than likely going to be April, but we don't know if it's even coming back, although they did leave hints that they would be coming back. Will you guys probably be doing the same as me and maybe, like creating tracks for the, the show coming up and different themes, different elements, different scenes, different spoilers, attacks, all that kind of stuff? You think you're going to carry on the flow?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try and carry on with that, try and get some of my own stuff out there, my own themes, because I'm not really hitting anything to start yet. Most of I was doing theme for your Inoki code. I definitely want to get into some more stuff. Definitely super related stuff. There's a lot of tracks I actually like from there.
Yeah.
I was a bit hit and miss at the beginning, but during the tournament at Paris,
well, it was hit and miss with the animation as well. I mean, like, they had a lot of teething problems, I think, but, I mean, episode 5 is just a prime example of that. But we all know how that went down.
I really like the fight too, which is a shame. Like, the Super Saiyan 3 versus Beerus was cool.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, in the movie, it looked...
I can see why people hated this.
That's it, yeah, exactly. I mean, in the movie, it looked bitching, but when they took it to TV, I mean, obviously, it was a bit of a downfall. But then they had a very tight budget, had a very, very short time period to get it all out. So it's kind of understandable. They rushed it a little bit, but... I mean, we could sort of let them go for that, because the whole conclusion of the show, whether it had good bits, bad bits, and all the rest of it, was mostly pretty decent animation. But aside from animation, yeah.
Well, you can't blame the animation stuff. I mean, they had such a short time frame. And,
that's it.
We should blame the people higher up.
Well, yeah. But at least, but we can agree
because,
that the things
were
were pretty good along the way. I mean, like, at least the animation was bad, the themes always made up for it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Totally.
Okay, so yeah, same question to Aurak there, my man.
Well, I may be, continuing the trend of Dragon Ball Super with my music, but I'm not really a guy,
as well.
Well, yes, of course, I do the discussions and the scripted videos. I'm
still waiting
and
for an invite,
like
by the way. I'm only joking.
Whenever you want. I mean,
I'm only joking. I'd love to appear on all your videos. You know, every single one of you. So you know, if any time you want to do something, I'm always down. You know it.
Bro, I'm always down. You know it. And you know, I mean, my music is mostly about, you know, either Xenoverse original characters, or you know, what if characters or fan-made characters, something like that. And I keep it that way because I don't want you know, I want to keep sort of my identity, let's say.
Yeah,
I could
keep it open as well, so that way you've got more options rather than just following the series.
Yes, of course. I mean, yes, when the movie comes out, for example, I could be making something in regards to the movie, and I would want to make that, but I don't want to, you know, do the trend where, I don't know, let's say that we were going through the Future Trunks arc and I would like recreate every sort of fight scene or something like that. I don't want to do that. I want to, you know, focus on only one character or something specific that really, you know, is of my interest.
Of course.
That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And Margin Blue, how do you see your future in regards to, say, a possible new super episode coming up? Or series coming up? How do you think that your channel's gonna sort of progress in that same direction?
Well, I mean, whenever Dragon Ball is on and it is ongoing, I think it will be only a good thing. It can't be a bad thing, only if we as content creators screw up. And you know, I think we don't necessarily have to have, you know, a Dragon Ball series like for 10 years so that our channels can have some sort of audience or something like that. And in a way, the Dragon Ball Super is either ending or, you know, little break, whatever. It's a bit of a blessing because it will give chance to all, you know, either mine or whatever Dragon Ball channel to focus on things that maybe they're not related to Dragon Ball Super necessarily, or they are not, you know, of the things that are going on in the time. And yeah, that is awesome in my opinion. I want to talk about, you know, Dragon Ball stuff, Dragon Ball Z stuff, Dragon Ball ZD stuff, and I think it's the perfect time to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, no, I totally agree. And I think that's a good direction to go anyway, I mean, to be honest. I mean, it's best to keep options open and, you know, let things flow. I mean, like you saw my last video, I did a Super Saiyan Awakened Yamcha, and I mean, we all know that will never happen.
Oh yeah, I saw.
But it's good to just, like, you know, have some fun with it and just, you know, expand it out in all different directions and things like that. Let me see. I did have another question actually that I was thinking of a second ago, which was, let me just think actually. It was, I don't know, I've completely forgotten. I'll just go back to what I was doing. Okay, so you know, in regards to, say, the things that you're doing at the moment, do you think that you guys will probably do more collaborations with each other and mix the styles up a little bit, and what new character? How about the that new game? What's it called? Dragon Ball Legends. We got some reveals of 3 new characters as well. So do you reckon you guys might collab and do some things in regards to that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely up for that. Yeah. Always. I've already been discussing with Margin Blue about the next track. But not based on Legends yet. That's a really good idea. I like that.
Oh, some behind the scenes stuff. Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always good. It's always good.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. John Del Vecchio, I think I pronounced his name right,
Yes.
in the chat said to say hi to Retro Hunter. So, hi Retro Hunter from John Del Vecchio.
Hey, John. How you doing, bud?
Hey, John. What's up?
Excellent stuff. Okay, so I've got a few more questions, but I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll see if anyone viewing right now has any questions for us, and you guys are watching the stream as well, so you can see what they're saying. So if we let the guys out there ask some questions for you, I think I'm going to hide that one, Margin Blue. I have no profanities on my channel.
But it says
This is a good family channel.
Nah, yes, family. It's a family channel, just like the show, mate. No blood. There's no blood.
Bit friendly.
Okay, guys. So to you guys, if you got any questions to ask these three, while I've got them with me, throw your questions in the comments section, and they'll answer straight away because they're all watch. I don't know if Retro Ranter's watching at the moment, but get on the stream.
I am now.
If you open up the stream, open up the chat bit, just mute it. Read what the questions these guys might have for you, and oh, apparently you pronounced his name right. Well done. Well done.
The questions.
Hey, that's good. That's good enough. But yeah, ask some questions and we'll throw it in. Okay, it's Sensu's got one.
So,
Who is your favorite Xenoverse 2 modder? Oh, come on, man.
It's Sensu.
He wants to be milked.
It's gotta be, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's Senzu.
Well, he's the only guy that ever did a Noki Halusa mod, and I was super happy with that. Although I'd like an update on that as well, because no, don't need the gun, just you know, a different skill set and a bit better looking. I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Always said Sensu. I love you, mod.
No, he's probably the best modder I know, anyway.
Someone will want to know your favorite
Kind of.
What's your favorite kind of pasta, loser?
Okay, what's my favourite kind of pasta? Well, I don't know if this counts as pasta, but I like lasagna, which has pasta in it, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm on that same level. Spaghetti bolognese for me, but I don't know if it counts.
Spaghetti bolognese? Well, yeah, I mean, if we're going for Italian, yeah. Lasagna is definitely my favourite anyway. Alright, what about you?
Well, I don't know how it's called in English, but those twisty pastas, you know, that have those sort of swirls.
Oh, I know.
Look like tornadoes. I don't know how to call them.
Tagliatelle? No, that's not it. Is it tagliatelle?
They look like bolts, let's say.
Oh, I know, yeah. Tagliatelle's...
Well, I don't know, anyway.
It's like a flat spaghetti.
Might be ravioli.
Yeah.
Anyways, it will remain a mystery.
Oh, here we go. There was a question here. Favorite saying? Everyone answer. Okay. What you mean out of all of Dragon Ball? Well, my favorite saying, I've got two. My first favorite saying is Vegito. My second favorite saying is Trunks. I mean, you can see from my avatar.
That's basically exactly the same, yeah.
Well, my favorite...
Yeah.
Well, my favorite saying is Bardock, and my second is also Goku then.
Wow.
My third favorite saying is, I think, I comment it, then it's Gogeta.
Gogeta. Oh, you're a Gogeta fan, aren't you?
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh yeah.
You don't listen much of Gogeta nowadays.
No, I know, and it would have been good. It would have been good if they'd have brought him in, especially in the Tournament of Power.
Oh yeah, that would be so cool, man.
The only thing
and they would use like the Super Saiyan Blue, and it would like last for 3 minutes or something.
3 minutes, yeah.
That would be cool.
The thing is with that, I mean, the only problem with that is obviously Vegeta. He wouldn't do the dance. He'd never do it, especially in public.
With all the universes watching.
Especially the guards as well. Be like, God damn it, Kakarot! I can't do that. That's too prissy.
Why not, Vegeta? Nobody's listening.
Yeah, and he goes full Vegeta mode, like, God damn it, Kakarot! Stop it now!
Yeah, Kakarot.
How about you, Aaron? Alright, what would your favourite saying be?
Oh, easy peasy. Future Trunks all the way. I mean, he's like the most relatable Saiyan, I believe,
so
for
badass.
us, the viewers, and especially with the Future Trunks arc. I mean, he's a character really elevated, like with that Super Saiyan raid scene. All the emotions, all those sort of stuff. I mean,
it was cut short
very,
very quickly, which was a shame because I mean, like, I expected that when he hit that Super Saiyan rage and then charged at Black, that he was going to like pummel him for a bit and then lose, not just lose straight away. I mean, come on, that was
it was like anticlimactic. What can we do?
Yeah. So future Trunks, fair play. Okay, have we got any more questions? Does pizza belong on? Oh, sorry. I read that back to front. Does pineapple belong on pizza? It's Sensu again. Do you know what, right? I can tolerate it.
I have never eaten pizza with pineapple, so I don't have an opinion on that one.
Yeah, it's a Hawaiian. It's like ham and ham and pineapple. I got an obsession with pizza.
Well, as I know, I am the pizza god, and I say yes.
Margin pizza.
Way too run to
Oh,
know it.
boy, that's because I don't like pineapple.
To be honest with you, I can tolerate pineapple on a
Better
pizza.
than anchovies.
But to be honest with you, I always go for the meat feast. I always have the meaties. I love the meaties.
Yeah, give me the pepperoni any day.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Give me the curry.
Let's see.
Blue, he's talking about pizzas again. No.
No.
Okay, so let's see. Favorite anime besides Dragon Ball. Okay, should I answer this one first, or do you guys want to go first? I'm the host after all, so you guys go first. You can
start. I'm.
We'll go with Aurak. All right.
Okay. Actually, the guy who is asking the question is a friend of mine in real life. So
really?
Hey, Chris. And
how about that?
I don't know really. I mean, Dragon Ball is like such a big anime for me. It's like all of my life I had Dragon Ball on my side in a way.
Absolutely.
So it's really difficult to, pick a favorite. I mean, we've got the usual suspects like Death Note or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and this sort of stuff, but I can't really put my finger on it. I can't say I have a favorite,
I gotta say that my favorite after Dragon Ball is My Hero Academia, or as it's known, Boku no Academia.
Hero?
Yeah, Boku no Hero Academia. Sorry, dude.
Oh
I said that wrong.
It's alright, man.
I'm not fluent in Japanese.
Oh my gosh.
I do like it. I do like it a lot. I used to like Log Horizon, but they haven't done a season 3 yet, which I'm waiting for. But who knows if they're gonna do it? But My Hero Academia definitely up there, most definitely. It's very
well,
epic.
of course. I mean, Boku no Hero Academia is a really well-made anime. I have my, my critical opinions on this anime, but it's like it's a topic for another time.
Of course,
it's a really big discussion.
Yeah.
All right. My anime, I don't know really. I watched a lot anime in the back time now, but I don't have a favor of it. I mean, I never watched Hero Academia really. I want to. It's not that I hate it or something like that.
I think you'd enjoy it. It's quite good. It's kind of like a hero's journey sort of thing. A bit like Dragon Ball in a way, but without the whole journeying around the whole world type thing.
But yeah, when I literally just put one, then I will go with the Castlevania anime.
How about yourself, Retro? What's your second favorite anime? Because obviously, I think all our favorite anime is Dragon Ball. To be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got too much of a list. Second, by pure rewatchability, is probably Fist of the North Star.
Oh, do you know? I
It's a bit
watched
out
an
there
episode of
compared
that,
to
and I thought that was really good, actually.
Yeah, it's over the top, it really is. I look at my old school anime, Ninja Scroll, Vampire Hunter D, that sort of stuff. Although newer stuff, Attack on Titan, One Punch Man. I like to get into My Hero, of course.
Well, one of the very
not the old school stuff.
One of the very first animes I ever watched was, and this is going back years. I mean, I must have been about I don't know, 15 when I first watched it. That's like 1995. And the movie came out in 1985 itself, I think, was Akira.
Oh yeah, Akira.
Oh yeah, Akira.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right up there. Oh.
I was.
I have actually not seen Akira.
Channel 4 back in the day for me.
That and Ghost in the Shell. Old school love, basically.
Yeah. Watching Channel 4 at like 2 o'clock in the morning and get random anime pop up or something.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Berserk, anyone?
Well,
Yes, there's another one.
Oh, what was the full name of that? It was
I think it was just Berserk.
Was it just Berserk? So he had that sword and he chopped his own arm off and all the rest of it. I remember.
Yeah, Guts.
Guts,
Pretty
that's
crazy,
it.
Yeah.
Guts Berserk, that's it. They had a game back in the 90s, it was on the PlayStation called Guts Berserk, and I remember that. Hack and slash game, a bit like Devil May Cry.
Yeah. I know this game. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
PS4
it had lots of glitches, but okay.
Oh yeah, but it was back then. It was
pretty
early days, wasn't it?
Savage names, some of them.
Next question from Itsensu.
We've got Itsensu. If you could collab with anyone, then who would it be?
Oh
HalusaTwin.
boy.
Oh, that's very kind of
me think. Could it be HalusaTwin? Yes, it could.
Oh,
The day will come.
I'm feeling the love.
Good.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I'd collab with any of you guys any day of the week, and that's not a sexual thing. I would collab with any of you. I'll tell you what, if I could choose any, this is a question, I'm going to reiterate that question for all of you, because obviously I'd collaborate with all of you, and I intend to at some point as well. But if you could collab with anyone that was famous, a famous musician, who would you love to collaborate with?
Morgan?
I know that Margin Blue would love to collaborate with Michael Jackson if he was still alive, of course.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh, the SSJ4 guy's not here.
Oh.
What about Aurak? What does Aurak think? What would Aurak? Who would Aurak like to most like to collab with? Famous person. Uh-oh, I think his Saiyan ship has just crashed. What about Retro Ranter?
My pod is still in working order. Oh man, that is a tough one. I think you want to do it with Michael Jackson, so I was going to do anything vocal. It has to be. Or Freddie. But my personal goal would probably be Yuzo Kishi, because that is my childhood.
Sorry, who was that?
The music, please.
Who do you want to collaborate with, sorry?
Yuzo Kishihiro, the guy who did the Streets of Rage soundtrack, Shinobi, that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, he's classic. Oh, he's so good. Yeah. Personally, myself... Yeah, of course. Personally, myself, who would I want to collab with the most? Oof, Enya. I think I'd like to collab with Enya.
Oh. Yeah, that would actually be...
I'd like to make a
cyberpunk to ever be released.
Yeah, I'd love to make like a cyberpunk sort of, but mellow, chilled, kind of like pumping theme tune soundtrack style beat, but with Enya's her sort of like, you know, choir stuff going, and some of her like Gaelic sort of singing as well. I think that would be absolutely awesome. Aurak's back. Aurak's back.
Where was your stage trip?
Okay, Aurak, so same question to you, dude. Who would you famously like to collaborate with?
Oh, it's my turn.
It's your turn. We've all had our turn. We've all had our turn.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Well, for oh boy. Well, I would like to collab with, in a fantasy situation, anyways, with Masako X, because I really love his mentality towards Dragon Ball, and I really agree with it. And who knows? Yeah, I like to collab with all of you, of course, with when it comes to music and discussions, whatever. And
what about a famous musician?
oh, I'd really like to collab with SSJ4 guy, because I really love his style, man.
Oh yeah, the wackiness. But what about a famous musician? If you had the chance to work with a famous musician, like say, I don't know, like someone like I can't think of anyone offhand, but Snoop Dogg or something like that. Would you who famously or famous musician would you like to work with sometime?
Well, I'm not really like that. I mean, I would like to, work with, I don't know, Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden or Rob Halford.
Oh,
but that will never happen.
Oh yeah, man. Sorry.
And I have my obscure choices. I mean, I really love this vocalist called Daniel Heeman, and he's from a band called Lost Horizon, a power metal band. And his voice is just, I mean, it's amazing, man. He's got a vocal range of a god, and he just knows how to use his damn vocals,
Yeah.
Ah, cool. I've got Ultimate Goku at the moment. I didn't see your question, dude. Can you type it in again?
I can't find it either.
It might be.
I don't see it.
Oh, hang on.
Ooh, that's a question.
Oh! Well, I've spoken to PokeMixer92, and he's up for a collaboration. We haven't actually set anything out yet because I've been busy. I've been busy with Kamehacon, but I've been talking to PokeMixer92, so we are going to do something in the future. So just keep your ears open for that one. Frederick Herbert, I know the guy. He's a guy with a guitar. I haven't actually spoken to him yet. He has come up, and yes, I will talk to him as well and see if he's interested in doing anything. I have done collaborations with 94 Stones, and we are planning to do another one sometime soon. He's in the middle of moving at the moment, so once he's finished his move and he's all settled down again, he'll be back up and running, and we'll have a new tune out for you. I hope that answers your question. Wicked.
Awesome,
there was another question.
I didn't know about it.
There was another question up there somewhere. Where is it? Oh, Margin Blue. This is a question for you. And it's from Margin Rose, or Rose, sorry. What do you think is your best song? Now, I've got my own personal favourite of your songs. What's your favourite song? What do you reckon your best song that you've made is?
Well, first of all, greeting on Margin Rose. He's my best friend in real life.
Oh, fair play.
My best song, my best track. I have a little list for it. I mean, for my best OC track or for my best recreation, I would say my best recreation by all time is now the Gogeta theme that I made with FL, but Ultimate Battle Ultra Instinct was also not bad. But if I say the best track I ever made for RC is the Ultra Instinct Essential theme.
Well, see, my personal favourite of yours is, and by the way, there's a lot of tunes you've done that I really, really like, and I've listened to like the first part and thought, oh god, this is ticking all the boxes. But the Devil Artemis track that you did, the Perfect Cell themes runs. That was heavy. That one, I loved that one so much. I played it on one of my. Remember, I played it on one of my live mixes. I love that track. That one, that's one of your best, in my opinion.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I made a remake of it with the Reason, but FL. I don't know, but I like the FL version a little bit more.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so have we got another question in there? Have you ever thought of opening commissions specifically Margin Blue. Well, I have commissions open. I actually received a couple of commissions tonight. I've got 2 projects that I'm working on, which are for personal uses, of course. But I think they're going to allow me to put them on my channel, so you guys are going to be able to hear that, and I'm going to put the character names up and everything as well. So in my case, I've got that set up on my website. There's actually a tab that you can click on and put your own commission in. You can do a free commission, which obviously, you know, if you do a free commission, it might take longer. If you do a paid commission, it's more than likely going to be out within the week. Margin Blue, yourself.
Well, I talked of it there, but oops. But I will say that I don't fake them then really, because I am not 18 and it's no reason for me to make them to hate them.
I see. I know what you're saying. I mean, when I started off, I never really bothered, because the thing is, I make music for fun, so I wouldn't ever charge anyone for anything. But because when you get a lot more, you know, more known, you get more requests all the time, and sometimes it can be, you know, it can bog you down a bit, and then you think, oh my god, I've got all this to do and no time to do my own stuff. So I set up the commissions thing, not just to to stop people from asking for requests, but to try and level it out so that I'm able to do my stuff as well as everyone else's stuff and not have too much pressure.
Well, what I don't like at the beginning of my channel and stuff there, that I just got a lot of requests there, and I didn't have time for it there, or I can't make them because I wasn't experienced enough for them, and they don't well them. And then I just said I don't take requests, I don't take anything there. I just
it's the same as Hanso Ultimate. He's the same. Which is a fair stand, to be on. A fair standing point. What about yourself, Aurak? Would you take requests, like commissions and things like that? Would you, if somebody wanted to, say, ask you a track or whatnot, you would take that in and, you know, go forward with it?
Well, no. Yes, probably.
Aurak still here? Oh, he might have crashed his Saiyan pod again. Let's see. Okay, we've got more questions.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going
the
on
better waifu? Is that right? Bulma or Momo from Boku no Hero? Momo? I can't remember Momo. Who's Momo? Which one's Momo? Oh, is that the one that creates that's not the one that can create things from like thin air. She can like literally.
I'm not sure who is he referring to. Who is? I mean, maybe he's talking about the mountain lady. I don't know.
I can't remember that one. I'm gonna go with Bulma because Bulma was like the second person I saw in Dragon Ball, and I've had a thing for her ever since.
I mean, Bulma is always a a waifu.
I mean, she's just like strong, powerful, but has that sort of wiggle at the same time. I love it.
Yeah, especially Bulma in the Saiyan / Namek saga. That's the best, I mean, rendition of her, in my opinion.
What is the question here?
Oh, we're not 100% sure ourselves, but moving on to the next one. Let's see. Hi, Richo. You're in the chat now. That's good. Oh, okay. Multi asking. Oh, that was you? You were saying that. Another question. Will you change your channel name someday? Are these names good? Oh, yeah, okay. You guys, would you ever change your channel name, or are you going to keep them the way they are? You know, I mean, because if you know how my channel started, it started off as Agent Moon Returns and became HalusaTwin.
Yeah, I started with Margin Goku, but yeah, Then I just named it Much Blue. Don't know why. Yeah, this is how it is.
Well,
Yeah,
me
well,
personally,
based
I
on-
well, yeah, me personally, I got into real thinking when I made my name Orak, and I wanted it to be a true Saiyan name, you know, with the vegetable pun and all this sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
And I'm really happy with that, so I'll keep it.
I've got a question about your name, actually. So, which vegetable is it actually based on?
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, I googled a vegetable list, and a thing called Oras came up.
Oh,
It's
okay.
spelled, and I don't really know what it is. Actually, it's something like you know, I don't know, grass sort of stuff, something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but I liked it and I thought Orak, that's a cool name.
Well, the funny thing is, because it's like a lot of people are saying yamoshi isn't a type of vegetable, but if they do research, they'll find out that yamoshi is actually the pun on moyashi, which is bean sprout in Japanese.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, all the Saiyans have, you know, their vegetable puns, and just because you can't see it with a first glance doesn't mean like it isn't a pun.
Exactly, and it's like my name, my Enoki Halusa, is kind of it plays into the Dragon Ball verse, but the last name is part of something I've made up myself. Enoki is a type of mushroom, and all the tuffles are named after mushrooms, or a pun on mushrooms. The Halusa part is actually part of it's a type of board game, so that's why the rest of the Saiyans in my digital band have a first name a mushroom, a surname as a board game.
Oh, that's cool, man. I didn't know it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I know it.
that's cool.
The funny thing is, when I actually came up with the name HalusaTwin, it actually wasn't based on a board game. I actually was trying to do HalusaTwin as in hallucinogen, but I spelt it completely wrong, so it became a unique name.
That is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. A bit of a typo actually created my name.
Love it.
Okay, let's see if we've got any more questions along here. Any more guys out there got any more questions? What have we got? Opinion on traps in anime. I don't know if that's a question or...
Oh no. Don't let me down, Chris.
Oh, here's a question. Would you ever collab with... And I'm not sure I could say this name correctly. Hang on. Melavelli to make for Absalon. Oh, Absalon. Oh, as in like make music for Absalon.
Ah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's the guy that animates the show too.
Yeah, to
if
be
I'm
honest,
not
I don't mind.
wrong.
I don't mind the show. I think the ideas are good, but there are some criticisms I have about it, which is that it's a bit over fanny. Fanny. It's. I don't mean it in a rude way. What I mean is, it's like it's way too like fan, not servicey either, because like we had Kale in Dragon Ball Super, and we had like Hit being like Pycon and so on and so forth. We had the fan service stuff, but in Absalon, it's like when they turn Super Saiyan, the hair turns white and they get like red glowing tribal tattoos. Their eyes turn black and their eyes turn, you know, a different color that glows. I think that's too much.
Yeah, I mean, Absalon
I like
was
the
like...
idea, but with character designs and things like that, and the way story sort of flows, is a bit too goofy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like really, you know, what's the SSJ5? Now, here's the grand battle! What's it unveil? Oh, thunder, oh! You know, it's more about the spectacle more than the substance, and I don't mean it in a rude way.
Oh, no,
I mean, it has that sort of mentality of, you know, the GT ending era that Dragon Ball fandom had, that wanted something really, you know, I don't know, something majestic like SSJ4, and they were and all of us were making like Super Saiyan 5s, Super Saiyan 100s that can blow up suns, solar systems, and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
And that is, in a way, what Absalon is about, but in a cool way.
Yeah, and they brought back all those crazy looking Saiyans as well. Which, okay, fair enough. I mean, if you look at the storyline, it is possible. Not everyone that was a Saiyan was on planet Vegeta when it was destroyed, so there could be some stray Saiyans still floating about. Vegeta just seems to think that him and Kakarot are the only Saiyans in the universe. But at the same time, I mean, like, you know, there is that possibility, but then, like, it's a bit far-fetched, I think, is probably the word I was looking for. But at the same time, I would never pass down an opportunity to make theme tunes for any fan show. So in that respect, I think all of us would be on the same page on that one.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
We might have criticisms about the show itself, but then we had our criticisms about Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and especially Dragon Ball GT. Not to just put that one out there.
Oh,
I like GT.
Yeah. Because that's what it's all about. You have your criticisms, because otherwise, if you don't have a critical voice about something, then you're just taking things on face value and just accepting things as the way they are. You're not appreciating it for what it could be, which makes it better for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we as Dragon Ball fans have really come to accept the series for what it is, and we know it has its flaws, and Dragon Ball Super has its flaws, and Dragon Ball GT has them, and Dragon Ball Z, and all these series. But I think it's important to recognize them, accept them as part of the series, and move forwards with a critical type of thinking, and just don't let, you know, bad character writing or, or bad storyboarding or stuff like that go, you know, the long way. I mean, we have a voice, that's why we have, you know, our channels, and we should be able to voice our opinions without fearing like, like 100 people won't agree with me. Well, who cares? That's the world.
That's the world, exactly. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, their own ideas, and their own ways of thinking. And, you know, if we can't live in a world where people are going to be critical, then we're all just going to not know where our faults are, basically.
Yeah.
And by the way, just quickly, SSJ Time Lord, I did get your email. I haven't had a chance to respond to you yet, but I have got your email. I am going to work on those 2 tunes for you. Don't you worry. It's all in the bag, baby. Okay, we've got a question from our favourite Yu-Gi-Oh player. Yusei, I can never pronounce your bloody name. Yusei, I'm just going to call you Yusei. What did the hurricane say to the coconut tree? Oh, hold on to your nuts. This ain't no ordinary blowjob. Lovely. Thank you for that.
Dun, dun.
I wish I had my drum kit ready. That's good. Thank you, man. That was that's definitely that's in the stream. So good on you. Okay, let's have a look. What other has anyone got anyone else got any questions, by the way, before we wrap this up?
I think Jack the Slayer has a question.
Jack the Slayer.
He says, honest question though. In the last stream, Halusa, you asked me to do album artwork for you. Did you see it? So, Halusa?
I didn't see it. Where did you post it?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, where did you? I haven't seen it. I'd love to see it. Was it with the digital band?
Hello, by the way, Jake.
I think I saw somewhere an illustration of Halusa from Jack.
I'll have to see it. Oh man, I haven't seen it. No, I need to see it. If you could post a link or something, I'll allow the link and then I'll check it out. Because I love it when people. I mean, you did a video about like fan art and stuff on your channel, which by the way, I thought that was awesome. All the fan art that you get is amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it either. I'm just like a small channel. I don't expect people to, you know, like draw my character or something like that.
Right, I'll check it out on DeviantArt, dude. I might have to. I hope you don't mind. I'm probably going to copy it and maybe use it in a video or something. Jack, that's for Jack. That is, by the way. So if that's okay, if you give me permission, I'll use it in one of my videos. I'll make a special theme tune just for that, for the art, and I'll put it on my channel, dude.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, you should do that.
Oh,
and then you can release
send me the link. That's brilliant. I love deviant artists anyway. I mean, you know, I've spoken to a couple of deviant artists that have done some personal art for me. One of the guys that I have done the most stuff with, who actually designed my avatar, which was Barkero. He's absolute legend.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Venom.
He's one of the best
okay,
animators in the fandom.
Yeah.
He is the best animator, I think, besides LOD.
Oh, he's a good animator
but-
as well. I always wanted someone to do an animation of my digital band as well. Okay. So, guys,
but-
if you want to quickly just talk amongst yourself, I just need to nip out for 2 seconds.
Oh, of course. We should find a subject to talk about.
Yes.
Now we sabotage.
Alright.
We should all just make jokes for the rest of the while, and then this should be like really lame jokes.
Yes.
Oh, terrible.
I mean, okay, I've got one. How is a fish called without an eye?
Right. Oh god.
Got you there.
Oh, what the hell? That's awesome.
Is everything okay, Mountain Blue?
I just saw a pic from Jack the Slayer, and that's so totally awesome.
Oh god damn it! I want to see it too now.
I sent it in the Discord.
Oh damn!
Reading the chat.
That is awesome.
It's so damn good. Holy
Good job, Jack the Slayer.
Jack the Slayer.
We should
Yeah,
should say it in an SJ4. Jack the Slayer.
Jack the Slayer.
Jack
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to
Oh,
quickly
no,
nip
no.
to the loo. I'd had too much beer tonight.
oh, did you just walk past the bus going like crazy? You just get excited over that picture.
Oh, here's a question. How is it? Oh, this is a joke
mean,
again,
you
isn't
guys-
it? It's another joke, I
Why
think.
is he so mad?
True.
Oh, let's have a look. Let's go back up. See if we can.
Maybe he's battling some low-life Saiyajins.
Either way, Barker, I did a recreation from that custom trick I made for him. I made a recent remake, and it sounds amazing. I think.
Tora Goshi, did you have a question, dude? Because I might have missed it.
Halusan.
Oh, that sounds really awesome in a Japanese pronunciation.
Hula-san.
Halusan.
Halusa.
Halusan, fight me.
I am Sama
Now.
Halusa. Halusa-sama. Just don't call me Halusa-chan.
Halusa.
No Halusa-chan.
HalusaTwin Summer.
Halusa-twin Sama.
HalusaTwin Summer. Teach me.
I could,
Oh boy.
I could be the god of everything.
Sorry. Hello.
Oh, no.
In the
Oh.
chat, yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you very much, Tora. I greet you as well. I'm even. I'll bow in contribution. Oh my Goku. What did you ask, dude? Hang on, let me. Oh, here we go. I really like the Meaning of Life track that you made for Imperfect Cell. Would you make more tracks from Disturbed or even Rammstein? Do you know what? I was actually thinking about doing more, but I'm going to do them as Cell, Imperfect Cell. So I'm going to sing all these songs. Yeah, brilliant. Because I am the perfect version of this element.
No.
Hello.
I really love your
Oh,
voice
love it.
impression, Halusa.
And if you don't like that, I'm gonna drink you. Slap, slap.
Oh no!
No, I was, because the vocal stuff I do isn't the greatest. I know that. I'm not a vocalist. I'm a music composer, music performer. But I always like to have a go at the singing because when you get that element like Jet Black, would you yeah, not Jet Black, like Jack Black.
Yeah.
Sorry, when you're like, I just wanna sing my heart out, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jack Black, man.
You just want to get
Was
in
it
there,
Iraq
just
was
like,
saying
you
you
know.
heard of shower singing?
Yeah, exactly.
Make
Just wanna
room.
work-
Don't underestimate yourself, man.
You just wanna work
You've
the
got a great
vocal
vocals.
No, but I like to have a go in every now and then, and if I'm doing another character, I've got a lot more confidence to do it.
I
So,
don't
yeah.
can do that.
There will be more vocal tracks, probably as Imperfect Cell, because I just think that character is hilarious. Even in
nice.
Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Z,
I love it.
and I'm not even talking
Yeah,
about
he is, man.
not even talking about TFS. In Dragon Ball Z, he was hilarious. That conversation he has with
Yeah.
Krillin is the best.
Yeah, man, that conversation with Piccolo was like the goatee, man. I mean, it is hilarious to this day.
It's really hilarious.
It is. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
He was
Yes.
funny and creepy at the same time. I love him.
Jack the Slayer in the chat makes a reference to Disturbed. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on. So I don't know if I can do that as so actually. Oh. Down with the sickness.
I
Oh,
can
yeah.
do that, but I don't
Love
want
it.
to scream like in 12 p.m.
Well, yeah, it's probably late where you are, isn't it? Jeez. Oh dear.
It's okay, never do no around this area. Random screams moving from the toast, it's fine, carry on.
Just did a cover of Fighter
Let's
Z
hope-
theme in the style of Faulkner. Sorry. Would you do anything from the game genre? Actually, it's a question for all of you. We've all done, like, you know, Dragon Ball Z themes, Dragon Ball Super themes, you know, our renditions, custom versions, original tracks, and some game themes as well. But do you reckon any more of us are going to do, like, more game themes as well? Like, you know, we've got Xenoverse 2, original Xenoverse as well. Plus, we've got Xenoverse 3 coming out at some point, as well as Dragon Ball Legends. I'd forget about Dokkan Battle, because I'm just, yeah, nah. And of
Dokkan
course,
Battle.
we've got that other Dragon Ball game. What was it called? Dragon Ball Fighter Z as well. So what do you reckon? Would you do any remixes of any of those tracks?
I'd love
well,
to be honest. Loads of them. But I think I'd rather go back to the older games, like Battle 22.
I just saw Goku's
Genji
question
Yamamoto.
there. Yeah.
Uh,
There's a couple of tracks in
Yeah, but
Fighter
it's
Z
like
that
that
I actually
stuff.
don't mind, and I think they've got that sort of Dragon Ball Z sort of feel to, or Dragon Ball in general sort of feel to them. Especially the one that's in West City.
yeah, love that one.
yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
What?
That's basically my winning team.
Ultimate.
Well, specifically when it comes to Dragon Ball Z video. Yes, Retro?
I was just saying I love the blend of like drum and bass and operatic music in that track. It's two very different things of the scale to put together and it just works so well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
I agree.
Also, as well, I think I'm just going to put this out there. I think for our next collab, like live video or whatever, if you guys are up for it, we should play something like Xenoverse 2, but in a 4-man team.
Yeah.
Well, I would be up for
Yeah,
it,
well,
but
We totally
I don't
should
have the
play.
PC version, so
Ah,
I'm sorry.
You need to get it.
I'll pay for it.
I'll buy it. I'll send it to you.
Hmm.
I can get a game, I got excited, I forget it on PS4, man. Excellent.
I reckon it'll be funny. It'll be
So
funny.
that-
By the
yes,
way,
I have tried to see it.
Toro's got a question. I think it's for Margin Blue because I can't read German.
But,
Du
no,
was?
that just stand Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
Übers unbesiegbar sein. That's the title, the opening from the German opening of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, is it?
The second.
Oh.
Oh,
Can you make a remix of that?
That would be interesting. And I think that
it-
the Dragon Ball YouTuber that is German, I think his
Does it
name is
have
Rafi.
Does it have lyrics?
He would really like that.
I know him.
Does it have?
But
I'm gonna have to check that theme out now. For real.
he's more like the rap, like the Hansel Ultimate type.
Oh, is it rap style? I was gonna say because I could like learn it and sing it in German.
Or
Well, I
can
did
sing
I
for
did
you.
that Rammstein song, didn't I? Alle warten auf das Licht. Versteht euch nicht.
Oh, that's not your favourite band.
Die Sonne scheint mir aus den
Blown away
Augen.
then.
Sie wird danach
Wunderman.
nicht untergehen.
Yeah,
That's an awesome pronunciation there.
it's actually so good. Rafi.
Not quite hard read.
Rafi.
Oh yeah.
Any
Let's see.
questions?
Halusa and Margin, could you speak at the same time? We have the Margin HalusaTwin. Oh, you mean like
Oh,
Do
like-
it now.
you mean like we're fused?
oh, how we do that?
We'd have to know what we're saying when we say it.
Agree on a line and just say it together.
How about all right? You know, all right.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Yeah, but like
all
all right.
All right.
Okay, so okay, are you ready? Are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Three,
Three,
2, 1. All
All
right.
right.
Oh, timing's out.
So close.
We're not a perfect fusion.
Yeah. We didn't master. We are probably the fat.
Actually, I reckon I could
The
get the
fat.
timing just right. Because obviously it's slightly off by a couple of seconds. Shall we try it again?
All right.
Okay. 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Oh,
All
all right.
This was fat.
That was better. That was
This
better.
is so entertaining.
Oh dear. How about all of us? That'd be a fusion of 4 people. They've never done that before.
Oh,
right.
After all, if you think
that's
about
a bit
it,
interesting.
if you think about it,
Let's.
they get
Okay,
2
let's
sets of
make it.
pataras each. If each of them put them on each individual ear, would they all 4 fuse together as one?
I don't know. Let's try it.
Hmm.
Let's
All right.
try it.
Okay, here we go. Shall I count it down?
Yeah.
So,
Okay, it's gonna sound like a right mess, but here we go. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
All
right.
Alright! Not too bad.
Oh, that was alright. That was good enough effort. There was a blend. There was a blend of English in there.
Sounded like the
somewhere.
old DBZ narrator.
Yeah. Let's say call me. Oh.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z, Majin Blue, Aurak, Retro Ranter, and Inoki all share the Patara. What happens in the next episode? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
You know, I'm gonna meet that guy.
Carl,
Carl Herbert, I think his name is. Carl Herbert. I'm actually gonna meet him. The guy that does.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does. Oh, who's he do? I think he does. Oh shit. Android 17. No, Android 16, and I think he does the announcement as well.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
oh,
gonna be.
that's
At,
seriously cool, man.
he's gonna be at
didn't know.
Comic-Con. I'm gonna get him to do that line. It's gonna be so epic.
And Android 16 is a really, unique voice that is kind of robotic but kind of human too. And he's always like, well, see the birds. They're really nice.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Absolutely. Oh, right. I think we've got another question here. What did the... Oh, it's another joke. We can read that.
Oh god.
What do
I think
you
I'll just
call
read it.
a herd of cows masturbating? Beef stroking? Oh, no.
That's so stupid.
Oh man.
Oh, dear.
You should just raided, the Reddit posts and just copy pasted the jokes.
Okay, here's a question.
Love
Here's
it.
a question from Yusei. I think I know the answer to this because I outlined this in my Yamcha video. But who do you reckon will win in a fight between All Might and Goku? What do you reckon? I already know.
Well, should I start?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, carry on. Can have.
Well, you can't really compare to different animes because we had things like Arala visiting the Dragon Ball universe and pummeling everyone. So it's hard, but yeah, I mean, All Might seems to be really strong, and I think he hasn't shown his like full potential yet in Boku no Hero Academia. But I think that he's a little bit, you know, lower in the scale.
Well, I mean, I know people won't like the next thing I say, because in essence, I'm not going to say it's fact, and I'm not saying it's in my opinion, but if we just go by like Dragon Ball verse versus My Hero Academia verse, people like Yamcha are powerful enough to destroy planets and solar systems. We haven't seen anyone from My Hero Academia destroy anything more than a city. So, in that respect, Yamcha is probably more powerful than All Might. But I know how people hate Yamcha because of how weak he is in comparison to the rest of the Z fighters. But all of them are capable of blowing up universes. So the power scaling is completely off. It's a bit like a pint of beer over a shot of water.
Yeah, they are probably more like Saitama level or something like that.
Exactly. And it's even stated somewhere, I think then these two sources I always go by as being like literally, you know, the fact on, or any kind of power scaling would be Seth the programmer and Chuck the cyber cuck, who scaled it. You have to say it that way every time.
Every time.
That scaled it that literally Krillin would be able to one-shot Saitama, because he hasn't shown any potential of being any stronger than City Level himself.
Yeah, I highballed Saitama is probably weaker than Cell.
Well, yeah,
which is Cell's ultimate strong, but that's all what we can get. He's stronger like at 100% Freezer dynamic, but not stronger than our semi-perfect Cell or perfect Cell.
Well, I think that Saitama as a character is a bit like, well, like an analogy to Whis in a way, in Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
I mean, Whis and Saitama, in a way, are as strong as the plot needs them to be.
Exactly,
and
it's a bit like how they roll like the Dragon Ball villains, as the next villain is always stronger than the...
It's always stronger, but in a certain point. I mean, yes, Perfect Cell was immensely stronger than most of the Z fighters, but then Teen Gohan, you know, went Super Saiyan 2, and all of these sort of things happened. But when it comes to gods and Whis and all this sort of stuff in Dragon Ball Super, they seem to be, you know, they want to draw a line. They want to be like, you know, this is your limit. You can't go beyond that. I may be false. I'm not saying this is fact, but I think that when it comes to characters like Saitama or Whis, they're as strong as they need to be. And Saitama being essentially a gag character because, you know, his manga / anime is mainly focused on comedy. I think he just becomes as powerful as he needs to be. So I don't think we can really compare characters like Saitama to Goku, but we could compare more All Might to Goku because it's more on the serious side, let's say.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, 100%. I mean, like, you know, we could see there's a flow going, and he's not a gag character, he's not a character without limits sort of thing, because we've seen that he has limits. You know, these can't maintain his form for very long, and it actually damages his body every time he uses it. So there's a weakness.
Yeah.
But it's the same with Goku. I mean, the last episode of, or the second from last episode of Dragon Ball Super, where he can't maintain the mastered Ultra Instinct, and it pretty much burns his body out.
Yeah.
So, you know, they've got their weaknesses, they've got their strengths and everything, so, but we know roughly roundabout power level based on the enemies they fought and how much destruction they've caused. Sort of. And the things that were stated as well by the villains.
Yeah, and it is always, you know, important to think that, yeah, even Yamcha could, like, blow up planets and potentially solar systems, but when, you know, characters in Dragon Ball Z fight, they do have some, you know, concentration. They can't, like, go all out and blow up planets and stuff like that. That would be pointless. They have to concentrate their attacks and all this sort of stuff. So that's one thing to remember, too.
Yeah, it's makes sense, but what don't make sense is like when Broly or some, just take for example like Broly, who was uncontrollable, and with that noble keepers he destroyed a lot of cities with only one keeper.
Yeah. You know, the Broly case, because he's a movie villain, I think, you know, villains like that don't have that much thought put into them. Yeah, and we have seen that Broly as a child, like, blew up, like, I don't remember, I think the West Galaxy. Something like that. He blew up a whole galaxy.
South Galaxy it was, or?
South Galaxy, I think, yeah. I think it was,
something like that. So, you know, it's a bit rough talking about them.
Yeah, Broly was at the beginning, if we met him in the first time, he was also already Blue Saga level. And a lot stronger than Perfect. And a lot stronger than Super Perfect Cell.
True.
Well, you know,
when you talk about
that's really up to debate.
Well, yeah.
I said Chuck already made that debate.
Ah, fair dues.
With that,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So to move on, because obviously I don't want to keep you guys all night, although I'd love to. But you know, I think we'd all get too tired, and we'd all want to either go to the pub or go to bed or get up for work or whatnot. A couple of questions just to wrap this up. Individually, we sort of touched on it a little bit. We was talking about our favourite sayings. What's our favourite characters from the whole Dragon Ball verse? You know, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, and that includes, like, you know, Hit, Jiren, anyone that you think that you know, identify with, or you might just like because they're just badass, or they got comedy. Even Monaka, you know, anyone that you think. Oh, by the way, Monaka is like higher than the Omni King. Me and SSJ4 just established that already. But you know,
of course.
So he's got a lot of potential. But you know, so any characters that you know that necessarily stand out to you that you identify with, and you think, oh, actually, you know, that's my most favorite character out of the entire series, the entire slew of Dragon Ball franchise.
Okay, I should start then. Stand by my opinion on my favorite Saiyan and favorite character, which is Future Trunks. And I touched upon the subject, and I said that, well, you know, Future Trunks is such a relatable character, mainly because he was raised by Bulma, and he didn't have that much Saiyan influence besides Future Gohan that trained him. And Future Gohan was, you know, a hybrid too. So he really exhibited these human-like characteristics that, you know, I mean, Goku and Vegeta have them too, of course, but they're not as apparent as in Trunks.
Exactly, they're more sort of interested in getting stronger, whereas Trunks was more interested in protecting the people around him.
Well, Trunks is interested in protecting his people and always trying to do his best in whatever way he can. And yeah, many people like have said that in Dragon Ball Super he went back in time and he was like, you know, many called him like, oh, he's a pussy, and he went to his father and cried for help and stuff like that. And yeah, I get that in a way, but I mean, if you were in the position of Trunks, what would you do? I mean, you would go to the next stronger guy that can help you, and I can really relate to that. And I mean, that emotional scene, besides the awkward timing that it had, I mean, it was a bit forced with the Super Saiyan Rage transformation, but I felt like it really gave Trunks this whole closure with, you know, fighting with his own emotions and fighting with, in a way, with his Saiyan pride that he's inferior to all, and he might be you know, making mistakes his whole life. And that was a powerful scene, in my opinion, and that is one of the main reasons I really like Future Trunks.
Ah, fair dues. How about yourself, Majin Blue?
My favorite character in the entire series is, of course, Gogeta. Just because he's the baddest character of all time there. He only, for entire existing, he shocked everything what is possible there. And yeah, he was totally badass. He defeated Janemba in just 2 minutes. And also in GT, it was pretty awesome to see him again, and his lines was incredibly good. But it's yeah, but just to pick it yet a canon character. If so, then I would probably go with Goku then.
Fair play. What about yourself, Retro?
You know, most of the Freezer army. I know it sounds weird, but there's so many characters there that I really got into. It's just crazy. Darbon and stuff like that. Ginyu Force are like probably my top thing. Legit. But I don't think I could pick, apart from Vegeta, like, favourite character. There's Vegeta, Yamcha, and then it's all the Z fighters, all the Freezer's army. Picking one is just impossible, to be fair. What I like about it, it's just got a wacky character. They could be good or evil, but I like something about a comedic bad guy, even like Cell, seeing that way that ones used to use, and the way he just takes the piddle out of you once he beat you down and stuff.
I feel that.
That's not weird as I think.
Well, see, one of my first character that was one of my favourite characters was Yamcha, even though the first episode I watched was the episode where Yamcha gets, you know, trolled, if you like, by the Cyberman, or Cyberman.
Yeah.
That was the first episode I saw, and I was like, shit, dude, this geezer's like badass. And, you know, it turned out he was actually a complete joke, but I still liked him. I had some kind of like connection with him, because I thought, he's kind of cool, cocky, a little bit like me, and, you know, he doesn't get the job done, but he tries and all that. And he was one of my all-time favourites.
I love Yamcha.
Yeah. Trunks was another one of my favourites, I think. I think it's because of, like, you know, how Auric explained it, you know, with the whole fighting with his own sort of Saiyan side, as well as being more human than most Saiyans and having a bit more compassion and stuff. But Krillin is one of my all-time favourites, because he's like been in there since the beginning. He was Goku's best friend. He's managed to keep up with them. I mean, because if you watch any of the movies, or even up to the series, he still manages to sort of hold his own throughout the entire thing. Almost keeping par and par, because he doesn't want Goku to get ahead of him, but he knows he can't keep up with him, but never sort of slips down, if you know what I mean. Even in Dragon Ball Super, where he did a bit more training, and that secret training, where he unlocked that power within him, he was completely trolled in the tournament, by the way. There should have been so much more Krillin in that tournament than they actually had. But, you know, it was all plot division and all that, and maneuver, and to move the character and the story along and all that. But he's probably one of my most favourites, and being the strong. And I argued this for years until it was announced by Toriyama that he was the strongest human, and there we go.
Yeah, straight up, but I was like, it's gotta be Krillin. Nobody but Krillin.
Yeah, let's give Krillin some love, you know.
Yeah, bless that little midget with a bald head.
As a whole, man. It's just a badass team, the old Z fighters, man.
Oh yeah, they're always gonna have those nostalgic feels.
Alrighty,
gotta have
guys.
love for Piccolo as well.
Well, poor old Piccolo.
Like, we're trying to go to bed soon.
He did become a nanny in the end, basically, which is sad, because you know, he was formidable at the beginning, and then he just became, you know, the babysitter at the end.
Yeah, I like actual Piccolo, but I hate that Piccolo's Gohan stat meme.
It was nice he was his mentor. It was nice he was his
really...
mentor, and that Gohan looked up to him, but it's just, you know, sad. And I like how Torutaro has perceived Gohan in the manga for the tournament. He hasn't chosen his dad's gi, he's chosen Piccolo's gi to fight in the tournament, and I like that.
Oh, yeah, I like that change. That's really nice.
It's a little bit.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Nice little bit of personal love there. All right, so to finish off, basically, last thing I'm just gonna say is, you know, It's great to have you guys all on here, and I'm glad that you let me have as much time as we've had as well, which is a little bit more than I actually scheduled. But in the future, would you guys like to do something like this similar again? Like maybe we could do a game together, and we could do another talk about music, or maybe we could just like, you know, bust out some tunes or anything like that. You know, would you guys be interested in that?
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Anytime.
No delay for that. Works every time.
Excellent stuff. Well, I'm glad I managed to get all of you together in one place and get as much information as possible. That last half obviously was just a bit of casual chatting, so I hope people were entertained by what we had to say, and some of the arguments that we was able to bring up as well. But
yes,
you know, we're coming towards the
Yeah,
end
it was
now.
a fun discussion.
Absolutely, because we're nearly on 2 hours, and obviously I don't want to take too much of you guys' time. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking to you guys. You guys have, like, you know, really opened my mind about, like, the things that you're doing together, and, you know, the things that we could possibly all do together as individually, in pairs, or the whole, you know, shebang. Maybe we should make a track, all of us, like make a four-way collaboration.
That would be awesome.
I have a
Four-way fusion.
Sorry, you were
little
saying?
track that as you can see on Twitter there, what I posted there, that like the Dragon Ball Tube Universe 7 there, like this, like the second version there. I had that little thing in mind there.
Cool. And I have another question. One last question. KamehaCon is coming up in May 4th this year, and it's successful. They've outsold everything that their expectations and everything. I mean, they never even thought the thing would take off the ground. But they've sold out their VIP tickets. They sold out their 3-day weekends. They keep coming close to selling out all their, like, you know, guest passes and things like that. For next year, because they're planning now, I think in the pipeline, they're planning for next year, 2019. Will you guys be up for attending that with me?
Yes, definitely. Definitely 100% is the goal.
Yeah.
I definitely want to come, but I don't know. I mean,
You got a whole 12 months.
it's a lot of money to save up, and I don't know. It could happen, but I won't give any promises.
Oh no. You got 12 months.
I've
No,
already discussed
no,
in my
no
mind why it's
excuses.
happening.
12 months to do it. You can find cheap flights. I did it through Kazoo and things like that. There's always a way of getting around it. Seriously, dudes, I'd love to.
Maybe
have
I'll do commissions of Kazoo.
I'd love to have you all there next year. We might even be able to do maybe a little gig or something. Who knows? I mean, like, I haven't spoken to the organisers yet, but if I could get something like that arranged, would you guys be up for it? We'll come. We'll all be listed.
Of course,
and do a little set.
Yes, you do. You don't even have to ask me. I'm there.
Fair dues. Excellent. And Margin Blue, I don't know, because obviously you're the youngest out of all of us. How would that pan out for you, my man?
I will go so badly there, but I don't know if I can.
Well, we've got a whole year to
so
talk about it, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, you know, no promises and all that kind of stuff, but it would be absolutely epic if the four of us could be there all together, and then we could make something happen.
Oh, this is not real.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it would be a dream trip.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know, nothing planned, nothing sorted, nothing organised or arranged or anything like that. But we've got a whole year to talk about it, so we can come up with an idea and maybe go forward from there. I know that a lot of the viewers would love to, you know, meet you guys in person as well and actually get some of your thoughts out in person, which, you know, would be an absolute pleasure.
Oh yeah, man. You don't know how much I would love that.
You don't know.
That's cool. Well, that's food for thought. Anyway, it was lovely to have you on today, and you know, I hope we're able to do more of these in the future. But again, I'm not going to hold you guys hostage. I'll let you go back to your respective homes and all that.
Damn you!
And in the future, we'll make some tracks. We'll make some more music. We'll do some more of these videos as well.
I hope so.
Sure thing.
It's been amazing, man.
We're good.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It's been so cool to actually talk to you guys in person.
Oh no, it's been
cool.
an absolute pleasure
Yeah,
for me.
thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure for me to have you guys on.
The pleasure is all ours. I mean, we really enjoy this sort of live streams. I'm sure
Absolutely.
MD and the Retro Ramp will do too.
Well,
I'm honored
it's,
anyway.
it's been excellent for me. I love chatting to you guys anyway. So you know, on Twitter and in person, and you know, on Discord, of course. You know, I feel privileged to have you guys with me today, and you know, I think this has been a successful chat, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Once I got in there, definitely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so without further ado, I'll wrap this up and let you guys get back to what you're doing. And I'd just like to say, everyone that tuned into this stream, thank you very much for your support. Thanks for coming in and asking your questions. Thank you for you know, listening to us rant on a little bit, and all the questions I asked and all their opinions and everything like that. I hope you guys tune in the future. Stay tuned to the channel. Check out these guys' channels as well. I'm going to put it in the description. I forgot to do it before, but I'm going to do it afterwards. So check the description in about 5 minutes' time when the video goes live. Well, when it goes public as a video, not as a live stream. All the details will be on there. Check out their channel, subscribe to them, hit the bell, because that will update you with everything that they're doing, as well as myself. And I will see you guys again soon. Subarashii! Say your outline, dudes.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Sayonara.
Let's do some beatbox.
Ich kann das nicht. I don't
Oh
care.
yeah!